Welcome back to another video, and this video is going to be an update on what's happening with this motorcycle. Let me bring you guys up close and show you. First things first, I fixed the tail end and I'll show you up close. I still have one missing part on the front side of the fairing. Everything else, the gasket, all that has been done. It took me over 6 to 7 hours to complete all that, and obviously putting that on video is kind of difficult. So what I'm going to do is run you over everything that I did, how I did it, and show you some clips of me actually doing it, and that way you would get a good understanding of how to do it and what was done to the bike. And before I get into doing work on the motorcycle, I do want to give an update on the Corvette. So I am at right about 6,000 miles. I am planning to take it for the first service, which is included with buying a brand new Corvette. So they recommend 7,500 miles. I think I'm just going to do it at 6,000. So even if 61, 6,200, that's where I'm going to take it in, get the service done. So they're going to be doing an oil change with a DCT filter change, as well as an overall inspection. So first things first, as you can see, the tail end is done. I bought the part off of eBay. It's not brand new. There are some blemishes, but for 50 bucks, you can't beat it. I think I did pay some shipping, so overall it was like 70 bucks. The most tricky part was this keyhole and the wire that goes and attached to the locking mechanism. So there's a small indent on this side, and even this, which goes on the inner side, has that indent, so you make sure those line up. So you can just reverse engineer while taking it out. So you angle it in order for it to go in. Once it's in that notch, you take this piece on the inside and put it in. When you're trying to get this in, make sure that the inside plate is already there. Otherwise, once it's pushed all the way in, there's no way to get the plate in, so it has to be timed correctly. So once it's in there, there's only one way that this can go in. So these prongs pointing downwards. There's indents for it where it goes. So just press it down. You'll hear it click once it's all the way in, and you can see the key mechanism is working. There's a cable that connects right here, and there's a pin that goes in, and then there's a wire coming out. So once you move it, it pulls and opens the rear seat, the passenger seat, and that's it. Now we're ready to put this back in the motorcycle. The next thing we took care of is the side mirror. So it's the same side mirror. The only thing is I epoxied the inside of this blinker. You can see there is some epoxy over here as well on the edges. So I can still adjust the mirror and everything is perfect. It's solid. I can fold it in if I have to. So I'm really glad with the results on this one. So I did change the headlights. Now they're white instead of the purple that I had. And so really what needs to happen is you open this one bolt and then just wiggle this. There are two push supports that come out, and there's a wire that you need to detach. Then you can see the rubber housing for the low beam, and then at the bottom you'll see the high beam. So for the low beam, there is a metal stay that you, while taking it out, make sure to see how it goes, see how it's coming out, just so that you know exactly how to make it go in as well. What I researched was in order to put in an LED bulb, you need some sort of an adapter that pushes it forward. You see these legs in order for it to fit correctly. Luckily, he had LEDs before. This is the purple one. I'm taking out and putting in regular 6000K bulbs, and I think it would just look much better. So we also did change the parking lights. So they're right behind here. They don't turn or twist or anything. They're just stuck in there with rubber housing. That was pretty simple. The next thing we did were these bar ends. This is just so easy to do. There's Allen key on this. On the right side, you just got to be careful. You don't want it pushed all the way in. That way your throttle would be sticky. So just make sure that it's not sticky before you take it out for a ride. We also did add a brake fluid reservoir sock cover. I washed the bike, so it's off right now, but that's pretty much everything on the front end. The biggest thing that we did have to do was obviously take care of the oil leak on the clutch side. So what we did is, first of all, drain the oil, took off the oil filter and let the oil drain, and then making sure that we're not moving the motorcycle or the bike anymore. We took all of these out, and what I did was I took a piece of paper and wrote 1 to 13 on it, and every bolt that I was taking out, I was putting it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first one I just wrote down right next to, on the right of the fill cap. That way I knew which one is first, and then took all of these out. I cleaned the old gasket or any material. First I started using a razor blade. You do run the risk of scraping the mating surfaces or creating a gouge. That could be bad, especially given that it would go on the block side of the engine and there's no real fix to it. Once we took this out, there are a couple wires that you can see right here that are attached on this side. I just asked my dad to help me hold this side, and I took a plastic scraper and scraped this side, and then this black side, the clutch cover side, I scraped it all. I was confused on how the gasket goes, but eventually there's only one way that it can go, so you can't really mess it up. First I thought I got the wrong gasket, but that wasn't the case. I was just putting it wrong way. So once I figured that out, it went in. There are two stays, one here and one here. So when we took off the cover, the stay was inside this, and it wasn't easy to get out. So what I did, I took a heat gun, heated it for a minute, and then just pulled it out, and it's hot, so I pulled it out with a plier, holding it through a microfiber towel just so that I don't mess up the stay. So put the stays first, line up the gasket, and then evenly put the plate back, and then torque these back to 8 pound-feet. And I did use a star pattern. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, like that, all 13 were done. After that, we filled it back with oil, changed the oil filter, and buttoned everything back up. And now I'm really pleased with how the bike looks, and also how mechanically it's perfect. I do plan on changing the exhaust, and this is the part that I've ordered. It's off of eBay. I think I paid 20 bucks. I'm still waiting on it. Once that's done, I'll be pretty pleased with the bike. The only thing left would be these gouges and like small cracks there. Either I live with it, or I might paint it, or I might just replace it. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something and it gives you the confidence to tackle this yourself. This is the first time I've done any kind of engine work, even though it was just a gasket. Apart from that, I Hope you enjoyed it. Next video is going to be my buying process, how I bought this motorcycle, because for me, nothing was a surprise, just because when I was buying the motorcycle, I did the whole inspection and there were no surprises for me. So that's really important. Stay tuned for that video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you liked it. I did order an action camera for my helmet and also a microphone inside the helmet so that I can take you guys along for a moto vlog. Stay tuned for more updates on the Corvette as well as the motorcycle. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care.